My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of One All Night. And I did watch this movie once before, but I remember not liking it. So when I started this rewatch, my expectations were rock bottom, but I freaking loved this movie this time. Like, what was I thinking before? This is one of the best Liam Neeson action movies, and let's begin talking about the cast. And Liam Neeson is great in this movie. He's able to carry it so incredibly well. He has the perfect personality for a movie like this, but there's also depth to his character that he's able to showcase perfectly. This is a broken, lonely man, and you can just feel that every time he's on screen. And then we've got Joel Kinnaman, who I do like in most movies. I thought he was fantastic in the Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. I thought he did a good job in the Robocop remake. I wish he was in more movies, but he really does stand out here. It's not the wall with the most material, but he allows him to stand out as much as possible. And then we've got Ed Harris, who is legitimately fantastic in this movie. He does everything he needs to so perfectly, and despite being the villain and despite being a scumbag, you're still somewhat sympathetic to this guy, and he he didn't have to go as hard as he did, but I'm glad he did. Boyd Holbrook, I don't really like as an actor, but weird enough, this might be one of his best performances. He has so much personality, and in just a few scenes, you're able to understand this character and who he is perfectly. We've also got Carmen, who I thought did a pretty good job in this movie. He's a real threat, and you get that sense. And Vincent D'Onofrio does a perfectly fine job, nothing impressive. So the cast is really strong, but what surprises me most about this movie is the quality of the story. It's actually quite emotional and somber, and it has weight to everything going on. Like, it's focusing on this terrible piece of shit man who's just broken and filled with regrets. And he's put in this terrible scenario where his personal life and his professional life are clashing with each other, and it puts him at odds with people who he doesn't want to be put at odds against. And you understand why everything is happening the way it is, and it just feels tragic. Like, his friendship with Ed Harris, we only see it in a few scenes, but you really get the sense that these two characters have gone through a lot together, in that they've had each other's backs for decades. And I thought the escalation of the relationship actually had real weight to it. And then we also get his relationship with his son, a man who wants nothing to do with such an evil piece of shit. And he tries to fix his relationship as much as he can. And I like how it's never easy, it's never too clean, but it's still done in a very effective manner. I love the direction this part of the story takes in the last act. This movie gets me teary-eyed quite a bit. Like, the writing is actually very good, and it still manages to have some very good action scenes. Um, Jimmy Collet-Serra directs this movie so incredibly well. There is some really cool, stylish touches. I love some of the camera work in this movie. So yeah, like there was plenty to like. I do got a few issues. Well, I think the first act of the movie has real emotion. The last act of the movie has real emotion. I feel like some of that gets lost in the middle section. It does feel like it gets dragged out and the story doesn't quite know what to do in that part. Like it knows where it wants to begin and where it wants to end, but the connective tissue is a little weak, and as a result, the pacing can drag. And I do think this movie should have been like 20 minutes title. And there's also one character named Legs, I believe. And I was not a fan of how this character was used in the movie. It's definitely the most convenient, clean part, and I didn't buy it. So I got a few issues, but I still think the meat of this movie is so strong and so powerful. I think the emotion definitely lands, there's depth to everything going on, and you're able to feel the weight of it. And it still delivers in the thrills you'd want from a movie like this. And it's one of Liam Neeson's better movies in the past decade or so. So I'll give One All Night a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen One All Night? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.